Oh, okay, we are live. So I forgot to smile when I was waiting. Anyway, hello, this is Celeste of Astrology by Celeste, and I am going to be talking today about the new moon in Scorpio that is happening on this Thursday. So let me share my screen. I'm going to try to keep this excuse me, concise. Let's see. Let me present. Okay, I am calling this Unleash the Queen because Scorpio, a big part of Scorpio is about power, power dynamics, personal power. So yes. So just a few notes for people who are new to me. You can find me at the Astrology by Celeste website where I offer personal readings, events, and classes. You can sign up for my waitlist for my classes that are going to be launching again in the beginning of 2022, the Moon Mastery Program. I also do Instagram Lives every Sunday at 9:30 a.m. where I talk about the astrology of current events. And then on Mondays, I do oracle card pulls and talk about the astrology as well. So with that, you get like a sun, moon, and a rising reading to help you through the week. Yeah, so subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram. Stuff is also posted to Facebook, but that's not really my main avenue. And my background is that I have retired early from corporate America. I have over 25 years sales, marketing, and business experience. So I can really help you with your career if you have some needs or desires to move that forward. Okay, so I love this quote by Salma Hayek. You can be 1,000 different women. It is your choice which one you want to be. It's about freedom and serenity. And this is so perfect for this new moon because the new moon is in Scorpio and it's directly opposite Uranus. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm having a lot of problems with my allergies recently. Okay. You celebrate who you are. You say, this is my kingdom or queendom. Yeah, love this quote. So perfect for this new moon. So I'm going to talk about the archetype of the new moon, the dates to be aware of, the astrology chart, what it means for you, and some prompts for contemplation or oracle card pulls or journaling. So Scorpio, I transform is the I statement about Scorpio, rules the 8th house of deep psychological processes, the shadows, sex, death, and transformation, and taxes, and investments. And it is a water sign. It is fixed water, and it's co-ruled by Pluto. Pluto is the modern ruler, and Mars. Mars is the traditional ruler of the sign of Scorpio. So some key words are intense, strategic, motivated, powerful, fixed water. It holds the energy. Scorpio is really interested in diving beneath the surface, being investigative. Pluto, all the wealth, the ancients felt all wealth came from under the earth. So think about gold or diamonds or other gemstones or what have you. So being resourceful, plumbing, mining the depths for wealth. Scientific, that intense critical mind that's constantly questioning, turning things over in order to come to new understandings. Also intuitive, just a lot of people with strong Scorpio energy have the ability to, are truth detectors, understand what's beneath what people are saying and be able to mine the truth from, even if someone's saying something totally opposite of what is really going on. It can be very private, magnetic, and sexy. On the shadow side, vengeful, overly brooding, suspicious, to the point of being suspicious to the point of being, I can't think of the word, manipulative or cruel on the really dark shadow side, cruel or violent on the really shadow side. So some archetypes are the detective or the schemer. Criminal organizations are ruled by Scorpio, the mafia. The alchemist or the healer, the surgeon, that strategic nature, understanding exactly how to cut. As I mentioned, Mars was the ancient ruler of Scorpio. The surgeon is another one. And the phoenix and the eagle. The phoenix being able to transform, transmute pain, come from the ashes to be reborn. Or the eagle being able to fly high above, being the, one of the top predators, being able to spot the prey, the sniper, the sharpshooter. So the key dates to be aware of for this moon phase family is, so this new moon on November 4th. So there is the monthly cycle where you have a new moon and then a first quarter moon the following week, the full moon the week after that, and the last quarter moon the week after that. And these are all things you can work with through the month around the Scorpio themes, but there are also these larger cycles for moving big projects forward, like the big things that happen in our lives. It could be about relationships. It could be about a job. It could be about, something you want to bring into your life. So things that start now, whether or not you're aware of it, you want to look to where this 12 degrees of Scorpio is hitting your chart. There will be, things popping out into your life that are visible, that require a change or a course correction by next August when the sun is in Leo. 9 months after that, all will be illuminated. And then 9 months after that, there is a time for learning lessons, reaping rewards or consequences, resolving things in order to release and start something new. So here is the chart for it. So some key points about this new moon. We are now officially in Scorpio season. Not Scorpio, excuse me, eclipse season. We're in Scorpio season, but it's eclipse season where we will have an intensified full moon in Taurus, and then we'll have a new moon in Sagittarius. And I am offering free webinars about both of these because eclipses are times of big changes. Surprising beginnings and endings can come with eclipses, especially if they're activating a point in your chart. And this new moon is opposite Uranus, so it's even more. You can see the new moon at 12 Scorpio is opposite Uranus at 12 Taurus. I am one to watch because my sun is at 12 Taurus. So this new moon, I am looking forward to see what pops into my life. We want to move forward without fear. We'll see what happens. It's in my 11th house. So yeah, it's a fortunate house. We shall see what happens with me, but I will keep you posted. But anyway, yeah, be prepared. With Uranus is a wild card. Be prepared for surprising revelations. Stay present for innovative ideas or unexpected changes. When there is an opposition, there can be some severance of something. Something can separate. It's of the nature of Saturn, and we're dealing with the Saturn-Uranus square, which is the big theme of 2021. So we're really focusing on not breaking down, but breaking through. If your company starts talking about you're having a surprise meeting on Thursday or Friday, hold on to your hat. Because, well, hopefully it's like you're getting a bonus for putting up with whatever they're shelling out. But I don't know. Yeah, just be prepared. There can be some surprises and they can be unpleasant depending on how it's hitting your chart, or maybe they'll be wonderful. So yeah, keep hope alive and don't catastrophize. So Mercury and Venus are about to change signs as well. Mercury has been in Libra for 6 weeks or so, is getting ready to move into Scorpio. So really watch how your thoughts go from maybe being, well, there was a lot of intensity because there is the square off which just happened with Pluto. So this may actually be a relief to have Mercury diving into the depths of Scorpio. If for you this has been a really, really intense time. So if so, think about how you can transform, how you can rise from the ashes, how you can reclaim your sovereignty, um, reclaiming your power, getting back on your throne if you've been knocked off. And yeah, so there is this sextile, this opportunity between Mercury and Venus at the last degree of Sagittarius. She's out of bounds, answering to herself, maybe wanting some kind of last hurrah of the party before going into Capricorn. And she'll be in Capricorn till March, because there is going to be this retrograde, Venus retrograde. That one's going to be pretty interesting because she'll be squaring off, not squaring off, she'll be a meeting, holding hands, tangoing with Pluto, the planet of power. And yeah, lots will be unearthed this the rest of this year. So Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio, unearths things, brings things up to our attention. And the United States is going through its Pluto return, where, yeah, it's the exact in February, but you can just, it's been going on for years. You can feel it, where all this deep, dark stuff is coming up in order to be dealt with. And yeah, we can make decisions on how we move forward. But compromising in relationships, you can use this sextile to do. What have you learned from Mercury retrograde about your relationship? How do you want to change them? How can you power share in order to have more joyful interactions with whoever, your partner, your children, your well, and your employer, if you can, or maybe you're your own employer, like myself. Yeah. So yeah, I need to compromise with myself as well. Anyway, Mars in Scorpio is also kink unks, the North Node in Gemini. So let me go back. I'm talking fast because I have a meeting at 11:30. So anyway, here's Venus in Sag. Here's Mercury in Libra. There are sextile. This is a gentle aspect where there's an opportunity to bring that compromise. Now, Mars in Scorpio, it's at home, it's strategic, it's the surgeon, it's incisive. Mars in Scorpio can be like, that stinger can come out and they could say things that could cut you to the bone. So yeah, but let's use this for being strategic and incisive, because Mars is what's called quincunx with the North Node in Gemini, speaking to where we're moving towards, where we're going to, our true north, our North Star. And this is an opportunity as well. I like to look at it as an opportunity. Something needs adjustment. So when something needs to change, it's an opportunity to make change, have choice points that help you be strategic, to take actions that move your vision forward. I think choices you make around this week, there's a lot of turbulent energy, will have long-lasting impacts potentially. So be strategic, choose wisely, use your intellect, and instinct. Anyway, so there's so much in this this chart, I feel, about the divine feminine. It's part of why I called it Unleash the Queen. One thing that's very interesting is that the Supreme Court is discussing this Texas law where they're trying to take women's rights away in order to, if they have to make the terrible decision about an abortion, that they, may not, they need to make decisions before they may even know they're pregnant, as well as they're turning the surveillance state where any Sally, Joe, or whoever can sue people for aiding a woman and getting an abortion, for up to and win up to $10,000. It's just really sick. The Supreme Court is listening to this, but the new moon is conjunct this fixed star Alphecca, which is called the star of a flower crown. It can be a gift with thorns. So think about if something happens unpleasant this week, maybe think about, is there a gift in this, even though it's really something I would have rather not had happen. We can also see, look in the collective, women gaining power or losing power unexpectedly. It's also conjunct asteroid Minerva, which is the Roman name for Athena, the goddess of wisdom. She was very strategic. The mythology is that she sprung from Zeus's head. Again, this is me thinking about women. So, and maintaining integrity in the face of requests from authorities that expect acquiescence from you. This can be with Uranus opposite the new moon, can be something coming from someone who considers himself an authority in your life, or is actually an authority in your life, where, if something shocking happens, you're going to maintain your composure if you can, and then, and maintain your integrity and figure out how you're going to, maybe if you can take some time before you react, I would say, is something to do with this. And as I mentioned, so this is Roe v. Wade on the inside of the wheel. And this is this Scorpio new moon on the outside of this wheel. And one thing that's really interesting in this is that Pallas Athena is in the sky, is square Ceres in Gemini. So Pallas Athena's in Pisces, this mutable water sign. Ceres is in Gemini. This is in the sky. And you can see also that Pallas, and if they're at 9, and Pallas Athena in Roe v. Wade's chart is also at 9. It's at 9 Scorpio. So there is a trine to the Pallas in the sky, but there is this inconjunct where something needs adjustment to the Pallas in the chart from Ceres. Ceres is an asteroid about motherhood, and Pallas Athena is about wisdom. It's about Athena was a virgin goddess, so she had a lot of autonomy over herself. And I just feel like this is really about really something, well, there is going to be a decision made. Yeah, there is going to be a decision made. And, with the square to, oh geez, why am I pointing this out? Okay. Mercury in the sky is squaring Mercury in the Roe v. Wade's chart. So Mercury in Libra rules justice. Mercury in Capricorn is about the state. Mercury represents children. It also can be representing, these legal affairs, this justice, based on where we're seeing this in the charts. And so potentially judges taking action regarding women's reproductive rights. It'll be interesting if this case is decided. I'll be noticing when the actual judgment comes down from the Supreme Court. Will they have compassion? Sorry. Pallas Athene in Pisces, or will there be a dissolution? Pallas Athene and Pisces can be compassion. It's ruled by Neptune. Also can be about dissolution. And I also pointed out, oh yes, and the North Node in the sky is on Vesta of Roe v. Wade's chart. Vesta speaks to what we're devoted to. Vesta in the sign of Gemini. Vesta, the vestigial virgins, also speaks to me about like the sisterhood of women, or women having choices. Gemini can be choices, as well as we can think of children with Gemini. So there's so much in this chart, that how it's acting, how it's activating Roe v. Wade's chart about women, the asteroid goddesses being active, Vesta, Ceres, and Ceres was is about motherhood, children. Ceres was Persephone's mother, and Persephone was stolen from her and taken down into the underworld. Yeah, it's very interesting. We have Venus at the last degree of Sagittarius. Jupiter rules Venus. I wonder, in Sagittarius, I wonder if we're going to see that, and freedom, we think, with Sagittarius. Wonder if there's going to be a change. When you see 29 degrees, it's like, is something going to change? But hopefully Venus in Capricorn, the decision will be made that this law is, not constitutional, but we shall see what the Supreme Court decides. And I hope I didn't confuse you with that. Sorry if I did. Oh, yeah, moving fast. Yes. So then the Sabian symbol, and the Sabian symbols are this clairvoyant sat under a tree with astrologer Elsie Wheeler, sat under a tree with astrologer Mark Edmund Jones, and had a vision. She was a blind clairvoyant, told him what for each sign of the zodiac. She downloaded images, and this is for Scorpio 12 to 13. An inventor performs a laboratory experiment. And I think it's so interesting because, with inventiveness, inventors, we can think about with this Uranus opposite the new moon. And, there's all this stuff going on about trials for children with the COVID vaccines. And this is causing, like in the United States, these intense divisions with people on different sides about, whether, children should be vaccinated. People are saying that, I'm curious to see if, I don't want to get into the debate. I'm just curious to see if there's decisions made around children being vaccinated this month. And yeah, I wanted to read something about this. So the key words for the Sabian symbol, Linda Hill wrote this amazing book where she talks about each of the symbols and gives some context and some quotes. Creating one's vision, thinking quickly and making momentary decisions, being prepared to risk failure. Bringing different mixes of things and people together, taking calculated risks, the mad professor, inventions and experiments, laboratories, research. So yeah, so this was just my thought about this, but think about in your own life, well, how can you use Uranus, the great awakener, in order to make positive changes in your life? Okay. 20 minutes. Can I do it? Okay, let's see. I can do it. Okay, so I'm going to go through the different signs, tell you what house it's in, and I'm going to pull a card for you. This time I'm using the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck because it's Scorpio season. We're really supposed to go within, go the deep psychological processes. And so I'm going to pull Archetypes cards for you to think about and contemplate for this month. So if you are a Scorpio, this new moon is in your first house around your identity, the self. Think about your vitality, your appearance. What do you want a new start in? Make some things you can do, some intentions you can do this month, but also think about 9 months from now? What do you want in your life for each of these? So Scorpio sun or rising, here you go. Think about the village. This is so interesting. The village. So to me, this is about, where do you want your place in your community? This is about your branding and your identity amongst the community and the collective. We've got Saturn squaring you, Saturn in Aquarius. How do you want to make changes for how you are in the community? So let me see. There's ding dong Roman numerals. May just have to. The village, the hometown, the family, just tribe. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, and think about nostalgia and comfort too. Okay, so that's for you, Scorpio. I should have just stuck with my intuition on that. Yeah. I like thinking about your branding in the community. Okay. Ooh, Libra, the stone. This is very interesting, the stone. So think about a stone, Libra. This I'm going to have to look up. I want the keywords. Oh, the anchor, the rock. So think about how you're holding yourself back from being the queen that you are. Like you want to stay grounded, but you don't want to be weighed down. Do you need to release any kind of chains that are binding you to a stone? Yes. Like what commitments what commitments are you doing just for people pleasing, or what can you let go of? And this is in your second house of money, possessions, values. So think about what you value this month. How can you build wealth for yourself, Libra, by letting go of things that are holding you down? Are you doing anything just because of people pleasing? So, we're going to Virgo. And you've got the Kairos card. Kairos, Kairos. And this is one of the initiations. So this is the initiation of, let's see. Thinking about synchronicity and mythic time for you. Think about what things are timeless. Think about divine timing. Think about Virgo can be so critical and constantly discerning, but think about some of the magic in the universe and how there is divine timing and how sometimes the right thing is in the right place for you. And if you look around yourself, this is the third house for you. The third house is like your local neighborhood. Look for signs and signals around your local neighborhood and think about where things in your life have fallen into place at times, despite how much energy you put into worrying about things. Also, siblings can be something that comes in. Okay, Leo. Why did I do this? Oh, Leo, the creator. So you are a creator. Are you letting your sun shine through? Are you being your authentic self, or are you just trying to get the applause from the crowd? Really think about how you're creating joy for yourself and what transformations need to happen. Now, you've got Saturn opposing your sign. So there can be this feeling of this limitations, and this is in your fourth house of your most private self. Are you being the Leo that you are? Are you letting the sun shine through you? If not, what can you do? How can you transform things in your life to maintain or reestablish your sovereignty? Okay. And we're on to Cancer. So this new moon is in your 5th house. I'm a Cancer rising of how we create joy for ourselves. So think about if sexy left, bringing it back, being flirtatious with your partner, or maybe it's time to look for a new one. If you're single, like, are you ready to look for someone new? Maybe you get yourself out there, get on an app, or ask a friend to introduce you, or your whatever. Okay, and you're thinking about the fault line. So it's a really good time to think about any cracks in your foundation around these Scorpio themes. I really like you thinking about wealth management, because think about how, building your wealth will help you have more time for joy and less worry. So think about any cracks in your foundation, Cancer. Yeah, and how you can really think about that Mercury Venus sextile. How can you have more fun and freedom and in relationships and whatnot, or just with yourself or with your children? Yeah. Ooh, so Gemini. This is so interesting. So Gemini, it's about your 6th house, so your daily life, health, and habits. So think about this stuff, but it's the thread. And think about how you can pull a thread and unravel things. Now, Scorpio season is about looking at our shadows, examining them, really being truthful with ourselves. Sometimes Gemini likes to keep things a little superficial. Think about how you can pull the thread and really look at your daily life, look at your habits. How are they serving you? What can you release and let go in order for your higher good? Okay. Taurus. Now I'm a Sun Taurus. Ooh, the river. Washing yourself clean in the river. So think about intimacy, because Taurus, this new moon is in your 7th house of partnerships. So think about marriage partners, business partners. How can you wash yourself clean in terms of really thinking about, like, have you been resentful? Are you the shadow stuff? Are you holding on to anger? How can you release this stuff and let it go? Yes, purification in the river. Okay. And then we have Aries. Aries, this is your 8th house of deep psychological processes in the shadows. And think about sex, death, other people's money, taxes, this sort of thing. And think about the vow. Where have you committed yourself to as well? So Libra got a similar card. And how can you, maintain your independence, yet do power sharing with your partner? And think about how you could recommit yourself to intimacy. Yeah, that's for you, Aries. And Pisces. So this is the 9th house of higher learning. It's about where we expand in our lives, the 9th house. Maybe you want to think about a new course or a new study in order to, what will you invest in to help improve your skills? Oh, and I got the poet for you. Rewrite your story. Yeah, maybe write a poem. Pisces is the poet. So maybe write a poem to yourself. Write a poem about your throne. I love that. Write a poem about your throne, Pisces. Okay. And Aquarius. This is the 10th house of career, social status, purpose, your calling. And I pulled the crone. So this is Mother, Maiden, Crone. So think about, if you are younger, think about who you like at your highest. If you're a woman, the woman you want to be. How do you want to see yourself as that mature, advanced woman? If you're already there, think about just think about your calling, the power you have in your life, and how can you unleash it in some ways? The crone is very powerful. Okay. And Capricorn, this is in your 11th house of friends and social groups and hopes and dreams. So think about that whenever there's a new moon in your 11th house, and for you, Capricorn, it's this month, you really want to just do new moon wishes. As soon as that new moon hits, it's like 2:14 p.m. West Coast time. So unless you're, yeah, yeah, for lots of the world, you'll still be awake. So just make those new moon wishes. What do you want to bring into your life? What do you want to draw in? And your card is the prayer. So say a prayer at this new moon, like just ask for what you want. No, it doesn't always have to be a struggle. Capricorn, and with Scorpio, there can be some magic. Just ask for what you want. And last but not least, Sagittarius. Yes, yes. Let's see. Oh, the shapeshifter Sagittarius. So this is the 12th house. So think about like, it's a house of secrets. It's a house of self-undoings. I think of it as mental health as well. Think about Venus is at the last degree in your sign. Think about shape shifting. Think about how you want to transform yourself. The South Node is finally getting ready to leave your sign. What have you learned over this last year and a half about your power, about your shadows? And yeah, how do you want to make some changes in order to move forward? Let me see if there's anything else I want to read about shapeshifter. The trickster, the elusive, the formless. So yeah, have some fun and some joy. Celebrate having Venus in your sign these last 20 or so days. And yeah, think about humorous. Maybe watch a funny movie, as well as, taking care of your mental health and releasing anything that doesn't serve you. And yeah, recommitting to a spiritual practice is perfect for that 12th house stuff. Okay, so at the new moon, we want to have a ritual where we call in the elements. So fire, maybe light a candle, really take time to sit down and write some new moon intentions. I have a free guide that you can get. There's on my website, astrologybyceleste.com, or go to the link in my bio here on the YouTube channel or wherever you're watching this. If you're watching it on Facebook, yeah, you can find it there, or snip feed, my snip feed link. So maybe light a candle, bring in some crystals or flowers. I love this. Yeah, I always have flowers on my table at the new moon and have my crystals. Yeah, and a journaling practice or quiet time, I really recommend journaling. If you get your thoughts out of your head and onto the paper, or if your penmanship is terrible like mine, you type it on your iPad, whatever, just get things out and just let yourself stream of consciousness write. And then for water, I like meditation or oracle cards or tarot. Yes. So these are some prompts for journaling, oracle cards, or contemplation. And if you're on my mailing list, you'll get these in when I send out this video for the new moon newsletter. So where do you think about for Scorpio season, where do you invest your time, money, and energy? These are all resources that are limited. Scorpio's about shared resources. What can you release to make space for your evolution, for your growth, for calling? You need to create space to bring new things in. So yes, Scorpio is about transforming. How will you transform? Scorpio is also about power. So describe your throne. Maybe even draw a picture of your throne if you have, if you like to stencil or draw or anything. Describe it in words or draw a picture of it. And do you own your personal power? If not, what steps can you take to proclaim it? We all have some measure of sovereignty in our lives. If you don't have any, how can you gain some? examining the shadows, all about eighth house stuff, those psychological processes. So what is your relationship to these eighth house topics that we sometimes try to just own? Shame, secrecy, jealousy, resentment, envy, all of these things, like bring these things up to the surface to examine and release them. How can you forgive others' transgressions or your own transgressions and move forward? Yes. And also bringing sexy back. Scorpio rules sex. So embracing intimacy, mark your calendar and practice the art of seduction with your partner, or if you're single, I don't know. Yeah. Can you, I'm going to mark my calendar. I'm going to do this month because yeah, I'm going to do this. Okay. Yeah. Practice the art of seduction. So these are some resources, and yeah, oh, we got 3 minutes. Okay, so my free moon guide, the moon phases ebook, is on my website, or the link in this bio, you can get to it. And yeah, and then I love the Archetypal Universe book, the Sabian symbols I mentioned. Moonology is a good book as well. So you can take a picture of this. I always use Solar Fire software. And yeah, so that's it. So I just made it in the nick of time. So yeah, so join me for one of my free webinars. And on these webinars, what I do is I'll talk about the signature of the eclipses. And at the end, I will pull people up and give them hot takes on their natal charts. It is free. I'm also going to be doing a teaching about eclipses for Wise Skies Astrology. So yes, make sure you're following me on Instagram so you'll get all those details, or even better, be on my newsletter. I only send out like 2 a month. So great. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you found this informative, and I hope it gives you food for thought, and have a blessed new moon.